Hi guys, if you're new here then welcome to the channel. I'm Liz, and if you're not new here then welcome back. It's good to see you again. Today's video is going to be another book haul video, but this time it's going to be a little bit different because it's going to be a library edition. So I'm going to be going to, well, not the local library actually, because they didn't have that many English books, but I am going to go to the library close by still. I've already reserved a few books, so they are waiting for me, ready to be picked up, and then we're gonna go around the library obviously to see if we can find some more goodies. And I thought I would take you guys along for the ride, so let's just do the dang thing, shall we? Alright, we're back from the library and it was cold, but it was a good trip. I definitely found quite a few books, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to read them before I have to return them. It depends on whether there are other people obviously in line for these books. It was my first time filming outdoors and in the public with a lot of people around me, and even though I didn't talk to the camera, and it's not that intimidating because it's just my phone that I'm filming with, so that does look normal, more normal than a camera, but it's still nerve-wracking, and I had a little bit of butterflies in my stomach and stuff like that. So, but it's good to push some boundaries once in a while, don't you think? So anyways, I picked up 6 books, and they're a little bit of everything, I think. So let's just go for it. The first one is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. And I don't remember which year, but it's been a couple of years where this just blew up and was everywhere. And I know my in-laws actually have this book in Danish though. But I don't think I've mentioned that before, but I do prefer to be reading in English when it comes to making these videos. There is just something about communicating in English and talking about something that you've read in English. It just makes, to me at least, the transition of talking about it a lot easier. I don't have to actively translate the book or what I want to talk about the book. So yeah, so that's the first one. And I have tried to read this before and I DNF'd it because I thought the beginning was tough to get through. But I'm going to give it another go, and some of you guys have said that the ending really makes up for the slow beginning of this book. So I am really hoping that's correct. I'm going to give it a go anyways. So that's the first book. The second book is Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Bowley. I think all 3 versions of what I just said sound wrong. Anyways, it just sounded so intriguing. The blurb says, prayers begin with offering Sema, and sharing my spirit name, clan, and where I'm from. I always add an extra name to make sure creator knows who I am. a name that connects me to my father because I began as a secret and then a scandal. I remember that line specifically, and I was like, I gotta know. I gotta know so bad. And I don't know much more about it. I've never heard of it, but it looked gorgeous. It sounded gorgeous, so it came home. Third book is Boneless Mercies by April Genevieve Tushok, whatever. And that was the cover that drew me to this book. I do like it in the library when, well, also in the bookshops, when the books are turned with the cover out instead of, you know, just like that. It doesn't bring that much of attention, just making a huge shadow on my face there. But you know what I mean? I also don't break my neck going around trying to read it like that. To see if it's anything fun, but The Boneless Mercies. It's a story of mercies and witches, of reeds and thorns, of women and giants, and like, I've got to read it. But cool name, both the title of the book but also the author's name, April Genevieve, you know. Genevieve, that has got to have some good stories behind that name. It sounds intriguing. It's about Frey, who has no family, no home, no fortune, and yet her blood sings a song of glory. So when she hears of a monster slaughtering men, women and children in northern Yaldom, she decides this is the Mercy's one chance to change their fate. I can't wait to read this one as well. So that was 3 books. I don't know if I'm doing a good job at explaining these books, but anyways, I'm just excited. As you all know about me now, I'm quite easily excited, I think. But 4th book is Babel by R.F. Kuang, and I had reserved this book as well. Right now, I can't remember if it was picked out in my TBR list video for February. I think it was. And I've just heard so many things about this book that I've got to give it a go. I love languages and I'm a bit of a nerd. I had Latin in school that I chose myself, and I had it on A levels, which is weird. And of course I speak English, but as someone pointed out as well in one of my videos, that they couldn't believe I was from Denmark because I have a British accent. And yeah, I've heard that before. I don't think my accent is that thick, but I try my best anyway. And well, I am Danish and I've studied in Sweden. I've lived in London. I speak a little bit of Swedish as well, and not a little bit, I speak Swedish. Let's try not to be too modest. And I understand German and stuff like that. So I have got quite the interest in languages and how they evolve over time. And I know this book is evolved quite a lot around languages. I've just got to read it. The next book is another book from my TBR February list, and another one that I had reserved beforehand, and it is The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. And it's a thriller, mystery thriller, I think. And I don't think I mentioned the genres of any of the other books, but hopefully you have figured out that most of them are fantasies, except for What the Crawdads Sing. This book I haven't seen the movie or series or whatever it is, but I've seen that it exists, and it came up with an unreliable narrator. So it's usually not my cup of tea. I mean, it's usually a good book when I read these sorts of books, but I'm excited to see if I really like it. I have a tendency to figure stuff out way before it happens, and that's not, well, for me at least, when it comes to these genres of books, where when I do figure it out in fantasies, it doesn't matter that much because there's so much world building and stuff, so I don't mind that. And the relations between the characters are usually deeper than in these sorts of books. But anyways, I'm rambling. The last book is Normal People by Sally Rooney, which I've seen absolutely everywhere on booktube as well, and I don't know what it's about, and I just got to give it a go. I don't think this is the best cover I've seen, but it's not going to be on my bookshelf, so I think I'll manage. Contemporary fiction as well. Yeah, these are my 6 books that I gathered from the library, and I will keep you updated as to how many of them I'm actually going to be finishing in time before I have to return them. But I think it was a good bunch of books. Like, I'm very pleased. And I went to Nestville Library. I might need to add that. I might need to put that in. So I went to Nestville Library. I somehow forgot to tell you that when I started filming this. But Nestville Library, that's where I brought you guys along. And it's quite a big library. It's one of the bigger libraries I've seen in the countryside. And I'm quite impressed with their collection of English books. Usually it's just like a shelf or maybe 2 stalls or something like that. And 80% of that is like classical books, Frankenstein and stuff like that. But it wasn't. And it wasn't in the Nestville Library. And they just had a big collection of English books that are also quite new and are still figuring on booktok and stuff like that. And I just love that books are popular again, that it's cool to be reading. Like, it definitely wasn't when I was young. I would have loved to be younger, but I would have loved for books to be this popular. To be reading to be this popular when I was a teenager. So I'm so glad that has bounced back. And anyways, so let me know, do you use your library a lot? Because we go often, but I also have a toddler that needs to be activated, and I use the library a lot to find books for her as well. She's absolutely lovely. When we go to the library, they have a little PlayStation and stuff like that, and a PlayStation play area. They've got a PlayStation as well, actually, and she is just starting to go over to the books and copying me when I take one out and look at it, and then she like opens it a little bit, puts it back. It's absolutely cute. She's so gorgeous. Yeah, so let me know, have you used your library recently? And if you have, which book did you come home with? I would love to hear that. So if you like this video, then remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. And until next time, happy reading! Okay, so that was really good, but I'm just like clenching. I need more hands. Not more hands, I just need more hand movement. Right, because it's gonna be a library edition. Oh gosh, how long has that been there for? Have I put on this? Oh gosh, I have. I've put on this shirt the wrong way. I don't know how long I have to start over. So what have you been up to? That's what I want to know. I think that was pretty good. I think we can work with that, don't you think?